Okay, this is one that you are not going to see every day of the week. I promise you that. It's not just a Courier Centurion. It was a very rare model called the 40D. Now, to give you an idea, now I'm actually got a relay missing in this one here. This is the original 23 channel Courier Centurion, and that's pretty much what they were. Great radio, very similar in so many ways. And this is actually a very clean one, apart from it's had a little bit of a knock on the wood there, but that's easy to fix. But apart from that, yeah, sort of missing a relay, and that I'll have to have a bit of a it's one of the larger ones too. I went to grab one out of a Spartan, to be honest, thinking, oh, they're easy fix, but no, there's the smaller version, and even the 40D uses this smaller version of relay just in there. But anyway, we'll hunt up a relay, and this is for a chap who actually had one when he was younger. He's really looking for it as a shelf piece, more so, to have as a reminder of, you know, younger years, etc., etc. And I would say that we'll be able to help him out, but I'd like to get it going as much as I can, because it's very clean front on it. Actually, it really is. This one here, where the light has been here, it's got a bit of dirt and rubbish that's all set. And I've actually just hooked up a quick lamp. I just wanted to see behind there and just see how that looked, and not too bad at all actually. So that was good. But the display, really happy that everything's working perfectly there. PLL's locking in. And to show the difference, the 40D adopted pretty much this whole PLL chassis here on the front end here, where on the previous crystal version you had this outboard crystal board here. See how it's it's not even close to being the same, although when you start looking at some of the generics of the actual transmit receive, the componentry very similar, but once again, see how they've broken up the transmitter, receiver, oscillators. It's quite a unique design. You didn't see too many like this. So today, instead of selling you something for once, I thought I'd take a break from my big sales spree, where Brenton, the salesperson, is driving you mental, and actually look at something from a hobby perspective. And to be honest, I wanted a break. I'm just getting 3 days of, we've done over 50 sales, and been great. We've had a lot of people visit today, and actually I've still got one more turning up who's running a bit late, all the way down from up past Sydney, actually near Newcastle, and he's got about 7 or 8 radios that he's picking up, and then he's actually he's not even stopping here. He's because I said to him, look, there's a bed here if you need it. He's a guy that I know very well. We don't let just anyone stay here, by the way, but by the same token, he said, no, already got my hotel booked in Melbourne, and he's got a whole stack of gear he's picking up in Melbourne as well, and I which is more older test equipment stuff we didn't have. Actually, we certainly fulfilled his radio needs, although when he gets here, trust me, try and sell him a bit more. Anyway, back to the Courier Centurion 40D. Now, the only person with enough taste in Australia to buy one of the, to get one of these in back in the day, and I guarantee you there weren't many people that bought these in, but it's definitely Ross Keogh from Strictly Ham, and that's where these two have come from. Both this one's from Ross, and this one here is from Ross as well. And I was never going to part with either of them, to be honest, but the chap, yeah, it's still a maybe. We'll see what the other chap wants to do. But one of the reasons for that is that you've sort of got a spare clock mechanism. Now, as you can see, this clock's still turning okay, and the other one's turning okay. If you said which clock out of the two looks cleaner, though, have a look at the digits on this one. Definitely look a little bit more vibrant, a little bit, which really tells me that lens needs to come off and be cleaned. It won't be the digits. Actually, if we have a look on the top, yeah, it's not the digits, it's just the lens. Yeah. So we'll pull that whole lens off and the front off and give it a good clean, and it'll be a whole different radio. By the way, it's not a mark there, it's just a shadow of that knob. I'm trying to see how I can move the light. Yeah, as you can see. But as I said, this is the sort of radio that most people wouldn't even have seen in Australia. It's not the 40D. The Courier Centurion, yep, sure. I mean, we saw ample loads of those, but the 40D was not. Turn it down a bit. Not one you would have seen a hell of a lot. And I just wanted to, you know what, instead of being everything as a hey, come buy this and thank you everybody, because so far I think we've got about 3 items sitting on the guest room bed. And by the way, that was the goal. Get everything out of the guest room because Sam's got a friend staying next week. And I said to Sam, I said, I've got a plan. And she said, yeah, where are we moving it to? And I said, you'll see. Anyway, she's been taking 10, 12 parcels a day down. Oh, more. There'll be, for Monday, there'll be probably 30. It's really piling up next to the front door. But that was my plan, was let's just move instead of moving it to another spot to then move it again, let's move it to people's homes, which, you know, they can use it because it's definitely excess stuff. All right, so we're putting a receive signal into this thing, and surprisingly, and I've got to be honest, I had no idea whether this would fire up or not. You're looking at the first time I've fired this up since, geez, Ross, when was I down at your place? Was this 2016, 15? I think it was before I broke my foot, so maybe 15, long time ago. Anyway, I was the lucky guy that got to buy Ross's full CB. I think Ross kept, 10 or 12 of his real true favourites, but the rest of them got carted away, and it was just one of the most generous things Ross ever did, to be honest, in my life, because whilst some of it we used to recoup money on, etc., a lot of them I just couldn't sell, and this is a good example of one of the ones that I really just think is a great piece of. I mean, when I'm gone, someone's going to get it, of course, but the 40D was definitely would be a difficult one to get rid of. Also a difficult one to put a price on too, because I do guarantee you will not find too many of them. I noticed that, Ross, you've got an extra channel switch on the back. Let's have a look. Does it do that? It does. Yeah, so we can see we go off the frequency, so that would take you up somewhere. I can have a look after and just see what that does, but anyway, very common in the day, of course. So let's just see if I'm putting 500 microvolts into this, so we're doing it. So the receiver may need a bit of a tune. I am currently, as I said, what was the BLK? Trying to remember what the BLK switch was. Anyone remembers that? Sing out. All right. Let's take this down a bit. 163, 51 microvolts. Where's it sitting there? Now, obviously, it's not S9. Is that meter sticking possibly? That's another possibility. No, 1, 2, 3, a little bit off frequency. Okay, let's just see how far we can go down. Wow. It's not dropping out at 5 microvolts. This is good. And the reason is, if we could still hear it at 5 microvolts, this receiver is working. 1.63. Oh, see how it just... That's the volume control, needs a good clean, sorry. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Look at that. 0.5 a microvolt. Now, the AGC's doing a couple of things. Oh, it could be that volume control, actually. Might give that a squirt with a bit of deoxit D5, actually. If you... Oh, jeez. I'll have to take the bottom off to get to that, of course. Actually, I was just spraying the switches before just to give them a bit of a hit, and just doesn't hurt to give these mode switches a clean. Work them around once you've done it. See how they get a little bit? Yeah, see there? That's it. And you'll clean them out as you're pressing them. There we go, 100% now. Yeah. Nice tune, that. Look, still there, yeah, a little bit more on that lower side down there. Sometimes you get in on the back of them. Sometimes I just flood the whole things and just sit there and go, right. Actually, you can even feel the spring coming back in them. Beautiful. Now, I did the same with the power before, and that's been actually quite good. The BLK, I just got to remember what that was. Now, this volume control definitely needs doing. And that BLK switch Maybe that switches speaker. I can't remember, to be honest. No, it's got to be a blanker. It's got to be a blanker, doesn't it? And that PACB, got to clean that a bit more. So just let me just put a little bit more in there. I'll try and get in the back of it there. Where is it? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, look, sometimes, because I'm not pulling the whole thing out, I'm just flooding it. Oh yeah, already feel the spring coming back in that. I think the BLK must be the blanker, but put a note in the comments file if you know. That clock's still working okay. Yep, beautiful. I wish I should have taken the bottom cover off as well, because I could get in and clean that. It's not terrible, it'll clean up fine. RF gain. The S meter adjustment needs sorting out, because even when I put... Whoops. Yeah, okay, so we need to adjust that S meter just to give it a bit more, you know, S9 at 50 microvolts or so. Does it transmit? Let's get rid of that tone that's been annoying you the whole video. How many minutes now? 11 minutes of putting up with that noise. Well done. Oh boy. Okay, it's off frequency, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Look at that. 15, 16. What's there? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I did check it didn't have a clarifier slide, and it's been a while since I've actually gone into one of these and adjusted oscillators and bits and pieces. Hang on, just let me remind myself here. Yeah, hang on. Yep, unit at 858. Oh yeah, yep. I'll have to do this off camera only because I haven't got enough hands. Hang on. Okay, so a very quick adjustment gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good power output. Okay, so just as a bit of a tutorial on the unit 858 on these things. This is your lower sideband here. This is your upper sideband here. Okay, so one closest to you, lower sideband. Next one, upper sideband. Now I'm saying that, but I didn't actually check upper sideband yet. I might be wrong there, but I don't think I am. We'll see. Hang on, have a look. It's probably off though. 1, 2. Oh no, that's all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Yep. Close enough. All right, good. So very simple adjustment to now get it on frequency and doing what it should be doing. Oh. Go to the right sideband. Where am I? Oh, change this one back here. And that should be back on to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice output actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say Ross has had his fingers in this in a good way. This thing's percolating power-wise very well. And Ross will be disgusted in me because the amount of dust. Where is my... I have a dust fixing tool. This is my dust fixing tool. Look at the dust in this thing, seriously. Ross will kill me. Oh, jeez. He loves me. Look, seriously. You know, it's been a love affair for years, Ross and I. We haven't told Trina or anything. But, yeah, look. Keeping this in the American barn. And I'm just doing very rough here just to sort of show you that there is a radio underneath all that dust. Very nice looking radio. Love this design, honestly. Now, you've got to be a bit careful. Sometimes you'll find you'll put your lid back on and that frequency adjustment might actually still vary just ever so slightly. But it should be right. 1, 2, 1, 2. No, we're all good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, beautiful. All right, actually we got that turned. Actually, to my, you know who you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're thinking about putting an SM220 in place here, and I wanted to show somebody this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. As you can see, beautiful brilliance on that one. Just a mate of mine is doing up a 301 lineup, and just so you can actually see it a bit more, it's in pretty good nick actually. But yeah, I'm just sort of thinking about putting out, I don't care, this here does a great job, but just thinking about putting, I've got somewhere down here a 220 that I'm fixing at the moment to put up, and I was thinking about putting that one up here, just doing the caps in that at the moment. But, oh hang on, now my TV's gone off. Hang on, Netflix. I don't want Netflix. Hang on. What's it doing? We're a bit of a multimedia centre here in the VK3CM workshop. As you can see, all my Donald Trump stuff at the moment. Don't you love that garbage thing? I know you're not all Donald Trump support. I get it. You know, look, I don't think he does everything correct myself. But I do think this election is going to be very interesting. All right, so it's got that. That's all right. I knocked the buttons on it. That's all. Okay.
Well, folks, we are
really?
The biggest election of our lifetime, and it's back.
Ben Shapiro. Do like Ben. Righto. Give me the noise. So, this is a goer. This is a real... You could get on air right now with this thing, and actually, without even doing anything, this is it's a goer. It really is. Now, this has sat for 10 years sitting... Oh, maybe a little bit under. 8 or 9 years. Probably just sitting on a shelf here. And if all I had to do was calibrate lower sideband, upper would seem fine. AM 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, good carrier. 1 2 1 2. I'm on PEP there, so yeah, that's all good. Loads and loads of power. Look, I've got to say, amazing. You know, the old Courier Centurion 40D, and it's one of those radios where if I was to get passionate about every radio that is on my passionate list, I'd be back to having. Well, I've already got too many radios that I need to clear, but I wouldn't be solving my problem. So there are some that do need to go, just based on the fact that you've got to be realistic. There's look, jury's out on this one. I don't know that I could easily sort of let this one go. It's one of those ones where it is. I don't know. Just some of Ross's I was very passionate about, and there's his SBE Console 6. There's quite a few, here that even my SBE, I've got the sideband 6 as well. I've also got the one that's in my workshop, in my radio room at the moment is actually the Console 6, easy to show you. Is the sideband 6 and Console 6 that both these actually came in from South Africa and from David de Kock, ZS1 DDS, and they just, if you said, okay, you said you're not going to keep any CBs, there's a few that break the mold as far as I don't really want to get rid of. This one from my good mate, I shouldn't say names where things came from, but I shouldn't have. Well, David, you're okay, but I'll just, anyway, this came from a very good mate of mine, you won't mind, Damien, and this is just superb because this is, box books and everything. It just, absolutely. So there are some that really capture your heart and you go, no, I couldn't, easily sell those. But that being said, there's a lot we're going to have to break that rule. Anyway, back to the Centurion 40D. Curious. Do you know I've even got in the box, brand new, a bass microphone, the Courier bass microphone. Where is that? It's out in the museum building. That'd be interesting to see how that drives that. I wonder if I can find that. The problem with this property is it's 5 acres, and sometimes I don't know where things are. Sometimes you end up walking a bit further than you thought. Different buildings, and for some reason I thought, no, it's up in the American barn on one of the shelves. I was dead sure where it was. Then I walked all the way back down to the museum building and went, yep, I should have went with my first instinct. It was actually there. Let's pull it out. I bet you it hasn't got the right plug. That'll be the problem. There you go. That's the Courier cardioid dynamic mic, solid state preamp, yada yada yada, like new, but unfortunately it's got an 8-pin plug on it. So I'm not sure where Ross, and this one came from Ross. I'm not sure what he had that wired up to, but we'll probably chuck it back to something like this here, because then it plugs into that'll put it into the Spartan or into the Centurion or the Gladiator or all those then. Don't I love the Gladiators? I think they're a fantastic radio as well. And see, once again, there's another one where I'm not sure if I could sell the Gladiators. I've got a few. We will sell some, but there's one in particular I'll probably keep anyway. All right, guys. Well, anyway, there you go. There's a bit of history, and for once, we're not trying to sell you something. We're actually just showing you a bit of history, and I shall certainly get back to you know who you are in regards to this fella here, and we'll find a relay, chuck it in there, and certainly I know what you're after, so that's all good. All right, thanks for having a look at this video. Great radio. I've got it on tone at the moment. You know, the only thing we haven't done, let's put an antenna in it. Now, conditions have been terrible today, so I don't know. I've got to tune my antenna on the other side. I can hear the tuner in the other room. Just, it's not really a 27 meg antenna, but it'll do. Probably shouldn't do that on channel 35. My apologies, guys. Anybody out there tell us we're getting out? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on an old Courier Centurion 40D. Conditions today are shocking. The chances of me getting somebody, not great. Anybody out there tell us if we're coming through? 229 in Tangambalenga, Northeast Victoria. Test, test. Anybody tell us we're getting through? Oh, it's not sounding positive, is it? You know what? We are wasting our time, I think. A little bit of a flicker there. I had to clean that switch. I just saw that. Just a little slight flicker, but... Someone from the US. Unbelievable. What about down on channel 6? It's the old Super Bowl. No, quite as. Anybody listening on channel 11? Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Not a chance. Just that chap from the US. Anybody out there tell us we're getting out? Just testing an old Courier Centurion 40D. The old Courier Centurion 40D. Anybody tell us we're getting through? Not a chance. Unfortunately, conditions are just that bad here. We need to calibrate that needle as well. Which is really simple to do, by the way, not hard at all. Alright, well, I was hoping if we put an antenna on, you know, we might hear a little bit more. Oh, we never found out. Where's this switch go? We don't know where it goes. I'm not going to transmit on antenna outside of 40 channels, but yeah. To be honest with you, we'll be removing that switch. I'm just not interested. Very easy job to do. Alright, sorry there was nothing actually coming through on the band. I can vaguely hear station in the background somewhere, but wouldn't have been nice if the bands were really... But today, 40 metres was terrible, so I expected 10 was not going to be much better. Alright, well, look, nice to have a break and actually just enjoy radio for once versus, you know, sometimes when you're in the trade, you know, as such, and I'm not really in the trade anymore, but as you can imagine, trying to get rid of some of this gear and to, you know, just get our load down a bit to where we should be at some sort of normal radio hobbyist level. That's been a bit of work, but hey, it's okay. Been good to deal with everybody though. Thanks very much for everybody's help. Every time you buy something from us, it's one less thing on the shelves, and we are getting there. Although if you look at this room, doesn't look like it much. A couple of little gaps there. Not really. Oh well, we'll get. I mean, look, you know, obviously that's nothing compared to the other rooms and the other racks up and down the American barn. A few of you are asking me to do a CB only video. so that you can get an idea of what's available. I'll try and do that maybe tomorrow, because I understand what you're saying. It's hard because the website's not updated, and pretty much all you're seeing is when we grab a radio, chuck it on the bench, and blah blah blah. It's so we'll try and improve things a bit there. All right, 73s. Thanks for having a look at the Courier Centurion 40D. Complete compliments to Ross Keogh from Strictly Ham for. As I said, I'm not responsible for this. He did some fantastic collecting back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and 2000s, and you should see his ham collection. Makes his CB collection look small. All right, guys, 73s. All the best.